G'day viewers, well, traditional Italian peak season time for us, so got a heap of bloody sausage mince here, make sausages, more herbs and spices mixed up in there. That'll be doing the sausages tomorrow, so, and we've got mince, yum yum, and all the waste. I'll show you what we do with all the waste. Okay viewers, when we did the pig, or the pork, for pork meat and for pork, like spaghetti, meatballs and everything, all this fat, we've got like a couple of bloody 50 or more kilos of fat we got nothing to do with. So you can make soap out of it and all that, but we usually don't bother. The old Italian tradition was to make soap out of the fat, bars of soap, and mix it with caustic soda and all that sort of stuff. Make your own bars of soap, but for us it's no use, so we just burn it. That's been burning for about an hour now. You can see the holes in the drum, the fat's just poured out. This should burn overnight and it should still be burning by tomorrow morning, hopefully, so if it's still burning I'll be filming it and show you. So we could just bury the waste product in a hole, but it's just going to stink, and yeah, why bother, just burn it. Bit of a cold night tonight, so got a good heater, plenty of wide area and dried fruit, drying wax, so yeah, working quite well as a heater. The whole process of killing the pig and cutting it and gutting it, filming that's a bit too gross for YouTube, so couldn't really do that unfortunately. But yeah, you can see how much fat stacked up to here. The head you can eat, but really too much of a complicated process to prep it up for bloody, yeah. I think some gourmet chefs can do the whole head, but we usually don't bother. So the head, the two halves of the head are in there, all the body fat's in there, and most of the skin is in there. We do usually, to that Italian tradition, eat all that as well, but for it's just a bit too much for us at the moment, so just burn it all off. Well, that's fat, just a pig fat. Burns quite nicely. And the rest, have a big family gathering and put spaghetti sauce and everything on and cook all that up. It's everyone's there now, so I can't really film that with everyone there. So let's see what else we can have a look at. Let's watch this meter spin. I got my stove I use as a ballast, that one I did in the previous video. Those two are going flat out cooking the spaghetti sauce, which is the dinner. So they're both stoves going flat out, got the stove in the house cooking something. So yeah, basically use a lot of family gathering as I said, so we're using a fair bit of power tonight. There is a Landis Gyr MM 2000 model. 2001 it was made. MM 2600XDF6, 3x240 volts, so 3 phase. 37.5 revolutions per kilowatt hour. 20 to 120 amps, it's a whole current meter. It just runs our farm, and that's the time switch for the dual tariff you see there. It's currently on the low rate, so daytime rate. H is a high rate for at night, made in Greece. 3 phase 4 wire meter, obviously double insulated. You can see the insides of the float-on bearing there. Obviously got 2 load wheels. You can see the 2 potential current coils there, one at the back at the top there. You can see with the terminal block inside, main fuses coming in, spinning quite nicely. There you go. Okay viewers, it's morning, next day. Yeah, it isn't actually burning. It got bloody frosty last night and cold, so looks like the frost was enough to completely cool this thing down. All this fat pile here, you're going to see some rabbits got to it. Huh. You gave the rabbits a good feed. You can see why this pork is so fatty for you. It's good to get rid of most of the fat instead of eating that, because that will just clog your arteries and give you a heart attack. there's a bone, pretty much burnt like wood. So well and truly cremated. That's what's left of the head, the skull. Well and truly completely cremated. There you go. A redneck crematorium in a drum. Okay viewers, it's the next day. They're here to make the sausages. And all our spices which are just being prepped on the stove at the moment. Adds a mixture of aniseed and other herbs and spices in there. Bit of hot and mild chilies, peppers. We also made a heap of meatballs and stuff out of it. There's other things we can make, big ham out of it and everything. We can boil it in a big pot in the fat and make what's called a catata in Italian. So cook it that way, but we didn't bother doing that. Too fatty. Not this year anyway. Just more. We always eat the sausages the most, so I made sausages and meatballs, bits of ribs and stuff for the spaghetti sauce. Bloody beautiful. Nothing like doing it yourself. The pork. So I should be able to see when the sausages are done. Basically, we put it through a machine, puts it through the intestines. That's what we use the skin for the sausages. About that round. And I don't know, about 6 inch length of the sausages. Probably get it better than that. Close to 100. Well, it looks like close to 100 sausages, but I reckon about 50 sausages we'll get out of this. It's about, I reckon 40 kilos of meat worth there, so yeah. Just to show you how cold it was last night. This hose is full of ice. Be careful not to break it. Parts of it is iced. Now I did step on this earlier, I heard crackling, so hopefully I did not break the hose. But yeah, if I turn a tap on it, I reckon chunks of ice might come out of that. Okay, the other tap's on. Let's see if ice comes out. You can see it there. There you go. That's how cold it was last night. Bloody ice coming out of the hose. You can see a big chunk of ice all around there, see? All that's ice. Can't really see the bloody sun's glaring, but there you go. Another chunk of ice just came out. And bloody cold it was last night. Just a good bandsaw we use to cut the ribs and stuff up. Chunks about that size to put in the spaghetti sauce. It's a Jacob brand made by Genco, an Australian company. 1996 it was made, 240 volt, 50 Hz, 1 horsepower motor. There's just a cheap Chinese induction motor, 1 horsepower, 240 volt, 50 Hz. Didn't stamp the out rating on there. 1996, 1420 RPM, 4-pole motor, and it cuts out at 60 degrees Celsius. So if it overloads and gets about that hot, it'll cut out and stop. Just gotta finish getting all the meat chunks out of it. Bit of meat and bone and marrow material stuck up in there, got to clean out. Yeah, very handy. Even got an auger attachment there. To mince this up, we use this machine. And that fitting, the auger attachment and the blade goes against there. The auger feeds it through there, pushes the meat up against there and cuts it to big chunks. This is an Italian made unit, AMG Elettromeccanica Garbugliano, via Italy. It's a Type 80/4 or Tipo, 0.8 horsepower, 240 volt, 50 Hz. Cost, it's a power factor I think, so it's 0.89. 34 IP protection, CI is F. Geary or RPM 1380, amps 3.4. Serial number is K82E1354. So got your normal forward, off, and pulse, reverse, in case something jams up and you want to clean it out. I did hook the variac up to this because it was a bit too fast on normal operation for this consistency, so I ran it on about 140 volts off the variac and the speed was just right. And they're going to pack it all the way now. Damn it. Accidentally stepped on the hose and cracked it like glass. I'm going to cut the bit off and rejoin it. There's ice in there, it's blocked it up. Cut the hose ready to repair it. Look at that. Ice in there. Man, it was cold last night. Okay, if you always got that top sliding plate off, or the table there, you can see these bearings aren't too crash hot. They roll along here. Edges of these hexagonal rods here, they ride it against there like that. Yeah, not very good. They're shielded bearings too. I'm gonna have to do the vacuum trick. Get some grease, warm it up so it's liquefied enough to get into that bearing, and put it in a vacuum and release it in the air, or release it in the atmosphere, and it'll just suck the grease into that bearing. It's really the only way to grease these types of bearings. Yeah, they're the original ones. Water sits in there. So yeah, it's not good in these bearings over time. Another one of these bearings, it's a Russian made bearing. That one is probably not so bad though. It's mainly these ones where water sits in. I might just fill them with CRC for now just to get a spire, and I might later on just pull them off and see if I can do the vacuum trick of getting grease in there. Which is all washed up. Okay, if yours got them soaking in a bit of 556 penetrating ore here, CRC brand, commonly referred to as CRC. That's actually what it's actually called, 556. Yeah, and it'll flush with the water and the rust out of those bearings, so I can grease them. Okay, viewers, I haven't started this thing in a while. A couple of pumps. Yeah, battery's flat. It's got one of those bloody supercharged batteries in it. I don't like those batteries because they sweat. There's acid residue and the sulphur oxidation forms a bloody conductive trace between the terminal posts, and that's how a battery discharges. To repair that, just grease the terminals up. But doesn't seem to have worked any better. It's made it, it's prolonged the charge. This terminal is actually cracked around the plastic, so the silicon that bloody together, and that seems to have stopped most of the seeping. So I'm going to get me Honda motor out and let it set up there and just let it run and charge up a bit and jump start this bloody thing and see how well it works, jump starting this. Okay, it's all hooked up, ready to go. Alright, let's start her up. Choke on. Oh, look at that! First go! Brilliant! Almost! Ah, brilliant! Bloody carb is flooding the engine again. It's being an arsehole, that carby. You can see there, it's flooding itself again. I want a bloody throttle cable this. Yeah, now it's flooding again, the bloody thing. There's a website to get parts of these carbies, but I forgot what it was. I'll finish disconnecting. There you go, the bloody vapour come out of that. It's this assembly here, the vent valve. a bypass that was fine for a while and it's playing up again. Is that an absolute bloody bastard of a carby these are? The bloody battery's not holding charge now, I think it's finally toast. Yeah, it's bloody flooding again. This carby is pants. Yep, I can smell the fuel. Now it's not flooding so much. Whenever I hold it flat like that, that line, it'll come good for a bit. It sucks for the excess fuel then obviously, but now it's flooding again. That is a shit. It's faster to start next time I want to drive it. Yeah, the battery's fine, it's starting to fly. Okay, the oil's got them smoking up here, about 7 to 10 days, and they should be ready to eat. Right, some from there, one of our grandmas, the rest are all ours. Just cooked some on the fire with my old man, got about 3 or 4. Some homemade bread which he baked in this oven here, bloody delicious. Mmm. There you are, it's the Italian tradition of cooking the pig. Thanks for watching.